Welcome, sensitive souls. This is a safe place for highly sensitive people, empaths, introverts, and anyone who's ever felt a little out of place in an extroverted world. A few nights ago, I was brushing my teeth when I suddenly remembered something I said at lunch. Not yesterday's lunch, last week's lunch. You know, the one everyone else forgot about approximately 4 minutes after it ended. Apparently, my brain had scheduled a surprise replay, right there between the toothpaste and the floss. I actually laughed. Not because it was funny, because I realized my brain and I were clearly operating on different time zones. I was ready for bed. My brain was apparently hosting a rerun. Maybe you've had moments like that. You're driving home and suddenly you think, why did I tell that story? Or someone doesn't text you back right away, and your brain quietly begins writing an entire documentary about what probably happened. Maybe I talked too much. Maybe I interrupted them. Maybe they think I'm strange. Meanwhile, they're probably just trying to remember where they left their phone. For years, I thought overthinking meant something was wrong with me. I wished I could be one of those people who had a conversation, walked away, and never thought about it again. Instead, my conversations seemed to come with free lifetime streaming, unlimited replays, deleted scenes, director's commentary, and occasionally an alternate ending. If you've ever done that, welcome. You're in very good company. Here's something I've learned. Highly sensitive people often notice more than other people. We notice little pauses, tiny changes in someone's voice, a raised eyebrow, a smile that seemed just a little different. Most of the time, that's a gift. It helps us be compassionate. It helps us notice when someone needs encouragement. It helps us read the room. But sometimes, that same gift keeps working long after the conversation is over. Our brains don't just collect information, they keep organizing it, looking for meaning, trying to make sure we didn't miss anything important. It's a little like having a detective who never goes off duty. Unfortunately, that detective also watches too many mystery movies. Not every unanswered text is a clue. Not every awkward pause means something happened. Sometimes, people are simply living their own wonderfully full lives. One realization has helped me more than almost anything else. Most people are thinking about themselves far more than they're thinking about me. That isn't depressing, it's incredibly freeing. Think about it. How much time do you spend replaying your own conversations? Probably quite a bit. Which means everyone else is probably replaying their own conversations too. They're not starring in a movie about us. They're starring in a movie about themselves. I also notice something else. When I'm tired, I overthink more. When I've had a wonderfully full day, my brain keeps trying to process everything after everyone else has gone to bed. It's almost like my beautiful busy nervous system says, we didn't have time to sort today's files, so let's do it now. At 11:30. Excellent timing. That's when I realize something important. Not every thought deserves a meeting. Just because my brain invites me to worry, doesn't mean I have to pull up a chair. Sometimes the kindest thing I can do is simply notice the thought, smile, and let it keep walking. One phrase has become really helpful for me. When I catch myself replaying conversations over and over, I gently ask, am I solving a problem, or am I borrowing tomorrow's energy? That question changes everything, because so much of my overthinking isn't actually preparing me for tomorrow. It's just using tomorrow's energy today. And I'd rather save that energy for the life that's actually waiting for me. Now that's easier said than done. Our brains aren't broken. They're trying to protect us. They're trying to help us belong. They're trying to make sure we don't accidentally hurt someone we care about. That's a beautiful intention. It just doesn't always produce peaceful results. One of the simplest habits I've started practicing is this. When I notice a conversation replaying for the third or fourth time, I ask myself one question. Is there anything useful I can do about this? If the answer is yes, I do it. Maybe I apologize. Maybe I send a kind message. Maybe I make a note for next time. But if the answer is no, I remind myself that I've already learned everything this conversation has to teach me. The rest is simply repetition. And repetition isn't wisdom, it's rumination. If you'd like a few more gentle tools like this, I've created the Little Survival Guide for Sensitive Souls. It's a short, practical booklet filled with simple ideas to help you protect your energy, quiet the guilt, and navigate everyday life with a sensitive nervous system. If it sounds helpful, you'll find a link in the description. Before we finish, I'd like to leave you with one small experiment. The next time you catch yourself replaying a conversation, don't ask, why am I doing this? Instead ask, what is my kind heart trying to protect? You may discover that your overthinking isn't the enemy. It's simply a caring heart that hasn't yet learned when it's safe to rest. If today's conversation helped you see yourself a little differently, I'd love for you to join us. Subscribe, and together we'll learn how to protect our peace, embrace our gifts, and discover that maybe we've never been too sensitive after all. Until next time, be gentle with your beautiful, busy nervous system. It doesn't need to solve every conversation before it lets you fall asleep.